Hey everyone, I am going to show you how I do a quick edit. So you will see me using all LSP actions. They're the best. And I'm just going to show you a quick edit on this bucket shot right here. So I just cropped, and now I have my clone tool. I'm just going to clone this here in the front. I'm going to do Command J just to duplicate this layer in case I clone a little too much on him. So I'm going to get rid of my assistant. And I'm just going to clone all of this. And so usually back here I have to start to paint. We'll see. Going to make my brush a little smaller and clone. I don't want it to get super patterny, so I am going to come in with my eyedropper and pick a darker shade. Get my brush nice and big. I'll lower my opacity 60%, and I'm just gonna go all back here. This is just my paintbrush, you guys. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. Pick up a color over here. Super bright. Go back here. I love these drops, by the way. These are the fine art drops from Fancy Fabric. So pretty. Pick up the color over here again. I'm gonna lower this because I want some of that in there. I just kind of want it darker back here by his head. Okay, now I'm going to create another little layer right there. Cannot remember right now what the heck that button is called, you guys. I want to make sure my black brush is chosen here because I'm going to go and I'm going to go and mask off now anything that I painted on the baby by mistake. So I'm going to go in at 100% with a small brush. I'm just going to get rid of any of this stuff. Make sure you have your black brush selected because don't forget black will get rid of anything that you just did. White will bring it back. So even if I mess up, which I just did, I'm going to hit X. Now you see my white brush is chosen over here, and I'm just going to hit that spot right there. See? Okay, I'm going to go back to my black small brush, and I'm just going to go over this handle real quick. Larger brush here. I'll get rid of that. Small brush again. I'm going to go over these handles. I can't remember if I did this already. Looks like I did. But I'm going to go again. I'm going to zoom in because his hair, you can see the edge where I painted on it. These little flyaways are okay. I kind of leave them. They have a little bit of paint on them, that's okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flatten this layer, and just check my levels real quick. This little guy needs to be slid all the way over to here. especially for print. because if not, that'll print super dark. All right, LSP, this is the Newborn Perfect Skin Action. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna zoom in on him. 100% opacity, my white brush is chosen. Just gonna go over his skin here. He's got little peelings. Most of the time, if babies are really peeling, mom comments during the session and she doesn't like it. So I am getting rid of this. Just kind of go over his eyelids a little bit. I'm going to flatten this because you can see too, some of his little skin has shed on this little layer down here, the navy blue. So just get rid of any little flakes. I'm just using my healing brush. Super easy. Same thing here. He's got a little something on his face. Healing brush. LSP has an action also for flakes. But when it's just a few like this, this is super easy. Okay. Reduce the reds. I'm going to zoom out just so I can see him. So obviously he's a dark skinned, whoa, what happened? B, brush. Obviously he's a dark skinned baby. I need to restart that. Ah, wrong thing. Let's play the reds. All right, I'm good. Because he is dark skinned, he's African American. I don't want to desaturate him too much because I want him to look how he is supposed to look. But his hand here, a little red. And because I want his hand to kind of match that, the rest of his skin, I'm going to go down here, fix purple skin. And that'll just kind of warm up his hand a little bit to match the rest of his skin. I'm gonna just bring the opacity down though so it doesn't look like yellow. Okay, we're gonna go sharpen the eyelashes. This is all from the LSP Newborn collection. I'm gonna come in, smaller brush. Just gonna drag it over here, just like that. Good deal. I'll lower that a tad. So he does have darkness right here, I'm noticing, but he's in the shadow too, but I definitely don't want that to look like he has black eye. And now that I'm looking at it, I feel like that is what it looks like. So let's see what we can do about that. This is the Brighten Up Baby Soft Light. I always use a low opacity on this because it's pretty bright. All right. Like that's probably too much, so I'm gonna use my black brush and just take that off of here. It's tricky because he is in the shadow on that side. The light is here, it's coming from here. What we can do probably is flatten, duplicate the layer, Command J, get your eyedropper. I'm gonna pick some skin from right underneath and let's just paint over this a little bit. Eyedropper again, pick some darker color right here. Let's go a little bit lower opacity. You gotta go super low when you're painting stuff like this because you don't want it to look painted. Right, I do want this to be dark right here. So it'll look painted, if not. And then let's just use our eraser tool, come in nice and big right here, and we can just erase anything that we did, anything that we did over the eye. probably lower the opacity a little bit. I'm gonna backtrack, so Command Z. I just want to get, yeah. It seemed like the eraser was like bringing too much back, so let's just go at a lower opacity with this eraser. I don't want like this thick black line. Okay. Good, and then we'll come back here. We'll lower this opacity on that particular layer. See, that was it before we started. Awesome. Okay. Curves. So you're coming to your layers palette down here. Oh, sorry. Curves. You're going to go halfway and you're going to pull this down. All right. We're looking for back here. We want it to be nice and dark like this. We're going to do Command I to invert that layer. B, we want to make sure we're using our brush tool. Get it nice and big. Let's go at full opacity here. Make sure your white brush is selected. And we're just going to paint all this because I want that to be darker back there. Let's go halfway. Switch your brush. X will switch it. It'll toggle it back. I want to remove it from the baby. I do not want him dark. I want him to be like nice and bright. Let's go around half again. Big brush. I'll bring back some of this here. This is where the light was. That's kind of how I want that to be. And then darken baby. Play that. I'm just gonna come in a little bit more around his head back here, so there's no weird halo. Lower the opacity here so there's no harsh line. Make your brush a little bigger. One more time. Switch your brush back to white, or sorry, black. Get this off. And you guys, that is a done deal.